Hey everyone, Wrestling Rathless here. Today we're going to be doing a deck profile. This will be my new Madolche deck, so I guess you'd call it version 2. I took first place with it today, or last night I mean. So I was actually really stoked about that. I never not top with the deck, but this was actually the first time I've actually took first place with it. So I actually really loving how the build was. I only had one bad hand, and I still managed to pull through. It was like bad, but it wasn't like horrible. It was bad, but it wasn't horrible, so I was actually able to still accomplish something. Yeah, I lost once, and it was against Fire Fist. Bear just kept getting over me. That's the thing. Like, I think they saved Bear just for tiramisu and stuff. So yeah. There's I don't know. I did change a lot of the main deck. The extra deck I changed, but not too much. So yeah. I even beat Gravekeepers with the deck, which was really surprising because of without the graveyard, Madolches are weak because they don't get their balance effect from the grave because their effects don't activate. So their field really was annoying. I got it on their field once, which made me win round 1, but then round 2, I just got rid of the field, but then they got their field, so his field, so it made it really hard, and I never saw the second one. It kind of sucked, but yeah. There's not much else to really say, really, but I love the deck. I still think it's probably my favorite deck. It's just awesome. I love the art. I love being able to beat your opponent over with basically cuteness. So yeah, I guess we should get started. The main deck is 40 cards. The extra, or the side deck, is 10. The side deck, there are a few cards in the side deck that weren't in it, but I wanted to put it in, but I didn't have them at the time because I forgot them at the house. But for the most part, for everything else is the same. So yeah. So let's start off. 2 Angeles. I still run the 2. The monster count the Madolche count didn't change really all that much. So yeah, the 2 Angeles because I like it, but I don't like it. I like it because of the search. I hated drawing it mid duel. I now run the 2 Who Cakes just because you don't need 3 anymore. 2 is amazing. 3 was too cloggy from what I liked. I still run the 2 Messalagos, the 3 Messalagos, just because it's good. It's a searcher. It's the monster you'll use for most of the time to get into tiramisu. So the 2 Mufile still. And then the 1 Angeli. I only won 1 because I can only get 1. Angeli is amazing. She's the most expensive card of the deck at the moment, and probably will be. So yeah. There's not much else to really say about that. Angeli is amazing. Special summons Who Cake, who gives Who Cake abilities effect. So yeah, you can go off with it quite easily. Still the 2 Bapples, because people don't know what Bapple is great. Even if you don't really get first turning it ain't that bad, because especially if you have the field, because then you have in defense, you have a 23 beater defense. So, and a lot of decks will actually have a hard time getting over that. So yeah, and then the last Madolche as Confessant. I still won the 1 Confessant, because it's amazing, mainly because I like getting tickets effect off it. Plus, it really helped me against Gravekeepers, because I just buffed the hell out of it. The strongest Gravekeeper, I believe, is in defense mode, so, and it's only like 24 or 25, one of the two. Can't remember exactly. I think it was 24. And so I got him up to like 3,000 and basically overdid everything. So he's basically he's the main reason I won against Gravekeepers. Double TG Striker. I still run the double TG Striker. Just because I like the synchro plays of the deck. the one Spell Striker. I no longer run 2, I just run the 1 because you don't need 2 anymore. To tell you the truth, I did run 2 for a while. I don't know, I didn't like how it ran, so I turned it down to 1 just to see how it would work, and it worked a lot better. As you can see, I took first. And then this card was I just added to is 2 Mathematicians. It thins out the deck. It gives you who kick targets. It's a level 3. It's Earth. It's draw power. It just makes the deck a lot faster, in my opinion. So, but if you have what's my color in the graveyard? Redox in the grave on your hand or something, because then you can get Redox's effect off with it, and yeah, and then like you could normal summon him, send say a TG Striker to the graveyard, and then use Redox, and then bring out TG Striker, go up for Beast or something, and yeah, it's really amazing. So, and then I run the 1 Railer, and then the 1 Redox. That is the monster count of 20. So yeah, the deck is run by monsters really. Which every deck I run runs off monsters because I don't like running too many spells and traps, because then it gets too cloggy. And then the spell lineup didn't really change all that much. I still run the 2 Chateaus, the 2 Tickets, the 2 MSTs, the 2 Dualities, and now I run the 1 Double Summon. Double Summon just gives you a lot of plays, just to tell you the truth. It gives you amazing plays. So yeah, that's it. Spells. The traps basically are, for the most part, the same too. I run the 1 Palooza, because Palooza. I did set it out in most of the duels because it's good, but I don't know. I don't seem to get it off too much. So yeah, and then the triple Fiendish Chains, because it's Fiendish Chain. Fiendish Chain is amazing. You need the stall power. You still need the stall power, even with the new speed. 2 to Prisons, 1 Mirror Force again for the stall basically. If I could run 3 Prisons, I'd rather run 3 Prisons, but I guess I would use the Mirror Force. The 1 Bottomless, the 1 Compulse, Iron Scarecrow, and the 1 card that. This card right here is a card that wrecked a lot of players, and they really did not see it coming. Royal Decree. Royal Decree was freaking amazing. I mean, I run a decent amount of traps, but the deck really does not need them. Plus, you usually use this on your turn anyway to activate it, to get rid of their mirror forces and shit, because that's annoying. So yeah. Yeah. That's all the main deck really. Yeah, this actually is one of the reasons I won against my mirror match. So I did a mirror match, and it was pretty amazing. It's kind of annoying, but it was amazing at the same time. I still run the 2 Tiramisu's. I'm leaning toward putting a 3rd one in here, but I probably won't. Because 2 is good. I mean, you can refresh it, so it's not that much. I mean, you can refresh it just by activating the field, so it's not like that's a big a deal. 2 Levier, because Levier, he banished a lot in the deck, so Levier does come in handy. The 1 Invoker. Invoker, because it's Invoker, it's a good card. A lot of people say I should run it at 2. I do not want to run it at 2. Because the reason I don't run it at 2 is because mainly the price, but secondly is because I don't play him too often. I do play him, but not nearly as often as people think you do. So yeah, I don't know. Most of the time you'll go for Levier, just saying, most of the time. And then the 1 Leviathan Dragon, because it's Leviathan Dragon, I ran him. I mainly ran him because of the attack boost. Plus you can get like Tiramisu out and him out pretty easily at the same time. Use his effect to gain attack, and then there's a target in the graveyard, so you can use Tiramisu's effect. So the deck really starts to speed up once you can do shit like that. And then the one Zen mains, the card I might take it to 2. I don't know. I don't use it extremely often, but I do use it. And then the one Fortune Tune, the card you don't want to use more than one of, because you don't need to, because it recovers itself, so it doesn't matter. The one Cowboy, because it's Cowboy, I might run a second one just because it helps you beat over craziness. One Corn, Black Sugar Corn, because it's Black Sugar Corn. It's just an amazing card. Pearl, I run a Pearl because of Phoenix Chain. It's a 26 beater plus Phoenix Chain to kind of target it, so it's safe. So yeah. The one Mestroke, the one Acid Golem, I will be probably taking that out because it's a good beater, but it stops your plays because you can't special summon. And then that's this Exceed monsters. Now for the Synchros haven't changed. It's still the Cataster, the Beast, and the Barkion. Against one of my matches, I actually got Beast out, and then they tried warning me, or not warning, bottomless me. Then I played Royal Decree, so the traps and spells were now useless. So I basically took half their deck and just threw it to the graveyard technique, basically. So yeah, that was an amazing play. That was awesome. So yeah, the extra deck, there's only like a few cards in here that weren't in here during the tournament, but it's because I couldn't find, I left them at the house. But yeah, the second Veiler, because it's Veiler, sometimes it's good to have Veiler in the deck. It's always good to have that stall power. That's basically what it is. If I actually probably would have drawn this, I might have been able to defeat Fire Fist because I could have negated the bear, and yeah. The one MSD, the third MSD. This card wasn't in the deck at the moment, but it was shared red. I wanted it in the deck, just in the side deck, because it's a good searcher, but it's not good enough to have, or draw. It's draw power, but it's not like one of those you want to have in the deck, main deck, because you don't know if your opponent searches at all. So it might just be dead right. Wait until you know by dueling them in round 1. This card also wasn't in there. It's the Trap Hole of Nightmare. I wanted to put it in here, but again, I forgot the house. It's good. It probably would have helped me out too against certain people, but mainly against Madolche. This card really hurts Madolches, but I just basically told you how to beat me. But yeah, the rest of the cards were in here. The double Mind Drain. This card basically helped me beat Mermails. The one Madolche Knights. It's a good card, but I don't know. I didn't see the huge reason to use it most of the time. I decided it in like once, just because I wanted that negate that effect. And then the second Royal Decree. I did set this in quite often, because a lot of people use a lot of back row, so it harms practically everyone. Unlike this deck, 'cause you don't really need the back row, but it's good to have it. It's basically there just for stall. Usually I'll activate this just to hit over anyway. So yeah, there's not much else. So yeah, that's the deck. I'm still stoked that I managed to take first place with it. But yeah, that's everything. There's not much else to really say. Like, subscribe, tell me what you think of the deck, if you try it on Dev Pro, or if you actually have all the cards already and you try building it. Yeah, the deck, I love it. I will probably always love it. It's like my favorite deck at the moment. So yeah. The mains, you don't really need most of this. I do recommend though, if you want, it's a little cheaper if you want to build the deck, to get, instead of this, take it out and put trapstones in it. It would be a little cheaper. Plus trapstones technically a little bit, in a way, about the same and useful, but most people will say it's better because you use it on their turn, or you're attacking or something. Then during their turn, you have your traps to use. That is true. That is good to do. But usually you'll use this and then game it. That's, so far, most of the times I've used this, I gamed it. So yeah. So yeah, that's everything. That's the deck. So that's not much. If you yeah, there's nothing else to say. But yeah, see you all next time, I guess. Please tell me what you think of the deck and all that stuff, because I really love the deck and I would like to see what you guys like, thought of it. It is, from what I've seen, pretty decently different than most Madolche deck I've seen. I mean, a lot of it people use, like, a lot of people use Redux, a lot of people use Failure. I haven't seen really anyone use Mathematician. Technically, I haven't really seen people use Spell Striker that much either. People don't use its TG Striker unless they're using the actual TG build. So yeah, so usually if they use Striker, they use Rhino, which I don't want to because Rhino kind of ain't useful. All he does is Super Striker, and that does not give me any big plays. So yeah, I guess that's everything. Like I already said. So see you on next time.